Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Biology Online at Woodland Community College. I hope you're excited about this upcoming class, and you should be because you're going to be learning a lot of cool stuff. So I'm your instructor. My name is Dr. Rogers, and I just want to introduce you to me and to the class. And so I'm starting off in the Canvas page. And I just want to show you around the Canvas page so you know like where everything's at and you know like how to access all the materials. And to introduce like the format of the class. Okay, so here's a home page. And on the home page is the video, which you obviously found because you're watching it right now. And here is a link to the welcome letter, which I had already emailed you. But just in case you added the class after the first day, this is the welcome letter that all the students got. And then down here are some instructions on how to start. So there's a big start button here that you can push. This is me. And to get in touch with me, the best way to get contact me is through email. And the best email to use is the Canvas email because that's linked to my personal email. And so I can access that every day, all day long. And so if you email me, give me a few hours to get back to you. I'm teaching a lot in person. And so if I'm teaching, you know, that I can't get back to my email, but give me like a couple hours and I'll get back to you. Also, if you would like to meet for office hours, like if you have any questions or you need help with any of the work, send me an email and we'll set up an appointment. This is the link for the office hours. I will also email it to you too. So if you send me an email like, "Hey, let's get together," we'll figure out a time that works for both of us, and then I will send you a link in the email. Okay, and then down here are two important links. The first one is the course syllabus, which I'm about to click, and then we're going to go through together. And then down here is important dates, which is actually very helpful. So if you're ever wondering, like the deadline for withdrawing the class, or you know when our spring break is, for example, click on there, and all the important dates are there. So I'm going to click on the syllabus, and let's go through that. Okay, here's our syllabus. You got this in the email that I sent you, but so let's go through it. My name is Dr. Stephanie Rogers. Again, here's my email address through Woodland Community College, or you can email me through Canvas too. This is an 18-week long class, and expect to spend about like 4 to 7 hours every week. It is very important that you put aside time to do the work. Everything is due, either Friday or Sunday, and you don't want to put off everything to the last day. So everything opens up on Mondays, and it's very important that you look over the assignments and you start working on them because it's too much to do in one day. So you have to do it, over several days. The materials you need for this class are you need a computer or a device, which you're on right now. You need to access Canvas, which you've already done. You're going to need a notebook. So, grab a notebook that you haven't finished or get a new notebook. All my lectures are videos, and taking notes is really helpful because the quizzes are directly connected to the videos. And so you might want to write some stuff down. And then the textbook is optional. This is the title. It is the Campbell Essential Biology, the 6th edition, but you don't have to buy it unless you like to. But I have cut and copied most of the text for every topic in Canvas, so you can read it online. But if you're the kind of person who likes hard copies, feel free to buy the textbook too. Okay, here are the student learning outcomes. This is like my promise to you that this is what I'm going to go over. And so you need to be leaving this class knowing these things. And so I'm just going to go over them really quickly. So the first one is describe and correctly apply the scientific method by designing and carrying out controlled experiments, including formulating hypotheses, collecting and analyzing data, proposing conclusions, and communicating them in a proper scientific format. So this first week is going to be all about the scientific method. You are actually going to do an experiment, and you're going to collect data, and you're going to present it. And so it is very important that you open up the lab as soon as you can and get that experiment going, because it is going to take you several days to do it. Please reach out if you need help with setting up your data table or your graph. And so get going on that first lab. I'll go over all the assignments in a second. So the second one is describe and correlate cell structure to function, especially as it relates to metabolism and energy conversions and reproductions, which is cell cycle, mitosis, and meiosis. The third one is given a genetics problems, explain and apply the principles of transmission and molecular genetics, DNA replication, transcription, and translation. The fourth one is describe and correlate the structure and function of organs and organ systems in animals. And the last one is describe and correctly apply the theory of evolution by natural selection to explain adaptation, biological unity, and diversity. So this class is covering a large range of topics. And so it moves pretty quickly, and we go through a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so for your grade in this class, there are 7 parts. And so these are the 7 parts. The first one, the first assignment is an introduction assignment, which I need you to do like this week. And that is just, you're writing me a letter and you're going to tell me all about you. And that way I can get to know you. This is also important because then I know that you're in here, you've accessed all the materials, and it's kind of like you checking into the class. If you don't do this assignment, then I'm going to be wondering if you just never got here, you're not taking the class, and then I'll probably drop you if you don't do it like within the first week. So just to make room for some of the waitlisted students. Okay, so that's the introduction assignment. It's worth 20 points. Then every week there's going to be 1 to 3 lecture videos, and then there are online quizzes connected to each video. Those quizzes are about 10 points each. They're usually about 5 to 10 questions, multiple choice. They're not hard. They're directly related to the videos. So if you watch the videos and took notes, they're going to be super easy. And those points just build up as we go through the semester. And that's like where you're going to be doing most of the learning. Okay, then each week there's going to be 1 activity or lab. These are worth 20 points each. And this is where you're going to take that stuff that you learned in the lecture videos and you're going to apply it in some way. So either solving problems or doing a lab or interpreting some data or interpreting a graph or something like that. And that there's going to be 1 per week. The labs are due on Sunday, where everything else is due on Friday. Okay, then the fourth thing is not every week, but maybe every other week, I am introducing you to a scientist, like a real scientist, and then just personalizing it so you can get to know, like, they're just regular people like us, and we could be a scientist if we wanted to. And so these are just STEM scientists, and they're unique in a certain way, and they're, awesome. And so I just want you to read about them. And then I just want you to write a really quick, summary about what you learned about them and like what you think about them. Okay, and then the 5th part of this class are discussions. So all the online classes have to have discussions. And that's because interaction is actually very important to learning. And so like when you're isolated and you're all by yourself, it is difficult to learn. And the discussions are hard online because we're not seeing each other. And so I get it that you're not really super engaged with the discussions, but I recommend you try to really read what your classmates are saying. Try to get to know them through this format. And so what I would like you to do is at the end of each week, by Friday, I have a discussion prompt, which I want you to respond to. And so you're going to write a response to my prompt. And then by the end of the weekend, you're going to come back and you're going to respond to 2 other people. And so I'm going to put you in groups of 3 every week. You're going to have 2 different classmates every single week. And then that way, you can say something and then you can have someone else like give you some feedback and then connect with you in that way. So it's kind of nice. So try it and try to connect with each other. Okay. The 6th thing is a research paper, and that's not due until the end of the semester. So the assignment is open on day 1 and you have the whole semester to do a research paper. And I give you that much time because sometimes you can go down like a rabbit hole on one of these topics, which is awesome. And so I just want to make sure you have enough time to really get to know this topic. And so if you click on the assignment, you'll see there's a topic list. I would like you to choose one of those topic lists. I want you to choose one of those topics from the list. And then you're going to write a 4 to 5 paragraph report with your own words. You're not going to do ChatGPT. You're not going to Google and paste it. You're not going to copy somebody else. You're going to read on a topic and you're going to write in your own words a 4 to 5 paragraph report. And so it's not going to be hard. I'm not going to be grading you on the format of the paper, and I'm not going to be grading you on your writing skills. Mostly, I just want to see, did you learn about a new topic, and are you reporting it back to me? Okay, and then the last part of this class is the final exam. You're going to have the whole last week to take it. You have 2 hours to take it. So once you open it in Canvas, you're going to have 2 whole hours to finish it, which is plenty of time. And then that's going to be it for the class. Okay, so this is the grade breakdown. And so these are just all the assignments I just went over. So your introduction assignment is worth 20 points, and that's just a one-time thing, first week. Then you have online quizzes, and there are 20 of them. That's going to be 200 points. Then you have labs and activities, 20 points each. You have one per week, so there's 18 of those. And then you have some of these like get to know a scientist assignments. They're not every week. They're just like here and there. Okay. Every 1 to 2 weeks. Then you have a discussion every single week. That's worth 15 points. You get 5 points for writing to the initial prompt. And then you get another additional 5 points for each student that you respond to. So that makes a total of 15 points per discussion. And then you have your research papers, 50 points, and your final exam is worth 100 points. Those are all the points that you can get in this class. And so I do the typical scale, 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, and so on. Okay. The next thing is the DSPS services department on campus. If you have a disability, then please contact DSPS and they will help you out. Or you can just let me know what your issues are, and I am happy to accommodate you in any way that I can. I'm here to help you. My goal is just for you to learn. And if I can help you learn better, then just let me know, and I'm happy to do that. Okay, so the late work. Everything is due on Friday, except for labs are due on Sunday. And so you have the whole week to do it. You have 7 days. And I do understand that it is human nature to procrastinate. So that's just what you're going to have to battle. Taking an online class is very convenient, especially if you work, because then you can just, work when you have time, but is inconvenient in that, you're more likely to procrastinate. So you have to have some self-discipline to be able to do this. So I'm giving you 7 whole days, which is plenty of time to do all the work. And so I do accept late work, but I do penalize you for it. So every day that is late, you're going to lose 10%. And so my advice is please just try to get it done as early as you can, so you don't get into this situation where you put it all off to the last day and then all of a sudden something happens on that day and you don't have the time to get it done. So try to get it done Monday, Tuesday. And then that way you have the whole rest of the week in case something happens. And then, or you could just relax and have some free time. Okay. Academic honesty. This is kind of a big deal because this is online, and with AI now, it is difficult for teachers, difficult. And I just want to say about AI that I do see the use in it, and I think it's really great for doing research, but I don't think it's good for, writing for you or answering questions for you, because the more you depend on AI, the less you're using your brain, and then you're just not developing those skills. And so really you're just hurting yourself if you use AI too much. And so, challenge yourself. It's good for you. Try to answer these questions by yourself. Try to learn these things by yourself. It is really good for your brain development, and it'll help you in other ways too. Okay. Okay. Withdrawing from the class. It is on you to withdraw. If you don't withdraw, then you end up getting the grade that you end up with, which would be an F because you didn't do any of the assignments. But there are these deadlines. So if you want to withdraw this class without a W on your transcript, you have till January 25th. If you want to withdraw after that, you have until April 17th, but a W will show up on your transcript. If it's after April 17th, then you don't have an option. You can't drop anymore. And now you're just stuck with the grade that you have. Okay. Okay, so and then the last couple pages are just the schedule. This is like a roadmap for us. If you are very like tactile and you need to see like hard copies of things, which I am very much like that, print these out and then you can just follow along as we go through the week. So the first week, which we're in right now, there's an introduction to the class, which you are doing right now. And then there's the scientific method. So we're doing 2 things this week. You have 7 days. So here are in the column all the way to the right are the assignments that you need to get done. So you have the introduction assignment, you have 2 quizzes. The first quiz is on this video that you're watching right now. And I just want to tell you that one of the questions is, what color shirt am I wearing? And my shirt is maroon. Okay. And then the second quiz is going to be connected to the scientific method video. And then you're going to do a lab. You have the whole week to do the lab. Please start it early. And then you're going to learn about a scientist. And then you're going to do a discussion. Okay, so that's what you're going to do for this week. Some weeks are bigger than other weeks. So it's good to have this roadmap printed out or accessible so you can see, like, oh, this is a big week. I better start early. Oh, or it's a small week, like in week 4, you can see there's only 3 things. So it's going to be easy that week. Okay. Okay, reach out if you have any questions. Okay, what else? Okay, the last thing I want to show you is on Canvas. If you click over here to the left to modules, that's where all the information is for the whole class. And so this is just another way to look at the assignments. Instead of just going through it, item by item, you can just see this overall picture. So this first section is a class orientation. And so this is just so you can see everything. Okay, so there's just some things that I want you to read through before you even start the class. Because I'm not with you, I can't point things out. So this is how I'm pointing things out. And then the second section is a semester project, which is a research paper. And so this first one is a topic list, and then here's the actual assignment. So once you get it done, you can turn it in here. And then here's week 1. So week 1, here's all the things that we do. And so you can start from the beginning and just move your way through each item till you get to the end. Okay? Well, it was so nice to meet you. And please reach out if you need anything. And I hope this is a really great semester for you. And I hope you really learn a lot about biology and then you learn to appreciate it because it is the best subject ever. Okay. Good luck, everybody. And I'll see you online. Bye-bye.